Greetings all, this is Nick from Those Hairy Gamers, and we're back on FFG's X-Wing page because the last part of the Guns for Hire expansion pack reveals has dropped. This is the Vaxi article, detailing the last little bits and pieces. Actually, only 2 reveals in this article that we haven't seen before, but a lot of cool information on various Vaxi builds. Go to the article and check it out if you want to see that, guys. We're just going to focus on these reveals today. Let's jump right into it. So first of all, we have the last Kihraxz Fighter pilot reveal today. This is Captain Joe Soto, pilot skill 4 EPT slot for 24 points. Once per round, after an enemy ship is not defending an attack, suffers damage or critical damage, you may perform an attack against that ship. My first impressions of this is it is a tad overcosted. It's 1 point more than a Black Sun Ace, but 1 pilot skill less, which is not ideal. But the ability is really powerful. Anything that can shoot out of turn, as in, when I say out of turn, I mean not when it activates during the combat phase, but another part of the game, potentially during the activation phase, which is always really powerful. And there are several things which can trip this off, all of them listed right here in the article. It talks about the Space Tug Tractor Array forcing something to fly into an asteroid or a bomb. That's good, but I feel like if you fly something to an asteroid, it might not roll a hit off the red dice, so it's a 50-50 chance. I don't like the reliability of that. It talks about using assault missiles, which is a fantastic way of doing this. It basically means if he takes assault missiles, it forces your opponent to really try and scatter out, because not only will they get splash damage, but they'll also get a second attack, which is very powerful. I quite like that idea. It also talks about the feedback array. Again, can be taken on this guy. Very powerful. If he gets someone in his arc at range 1, he can feedback array them for 1 damage and then take a really powerful shot right into them, which could be good. It means he has to take damage too, but could be worth it. Something not mentioned in the article is the Black Market Slicer tool, and I'm staring at these 2 cards wondering if they work together. I'm going to guess they don't, because the Black Market Slicer tool says, I deal you a face down damage card. That doesn't sound like it's the same as quote unquote suffer damage. But FFG, if you guys are watching, please put this in the next FAQ, because this is a point that's going to come up. Does the Black Market Slicer tool activate Captain Jostero's ability? Now, they also briefly mentioned bombs. Now, bombs, in my opinion, are the best way to activate this guy's ability. Bombs can be activated during activation phase, end of activation phase, anytime a tractor beam's assigned and you roll something over a bomb. There's a lot of good ways to get bombs working for this guy's really effectively, and I really like that idea. Now, obviously, he can't take bombs, but the Scum faction just got gifted a really powerful bomber in the Skirk bomber, so there are a lot of options for that. Indeed, as soon as I saw what this guy can do, I started thinking up all these ideas like, oh, how do we get this guy's ability to work the best? Bombs, in my opinion, are the best way of doing it. And we can have a bit of a captain theme going on here with Captain Jostero and Captain Nim. So I made this list. It's called Oh Captain, My Captain, hashtag RIP Robin Williams. And it's just playing with that basic idea of having this guy and 2 really efficient bombers. We have Captain Nim and Constable Zuvio, 2 really what I'd call very cheeky bombers for the Scum faction right now. Coupling that with shooting out of turn, I think, is a lot of fun. It's a very Scum to the core tactic. And this is the kind of list that I like to fly. Nice, effective gimmicks. It should be noted that Captain Jostero is the 4th ship now in the game that can shoot out of turn. The others being Quick Draw, the New Tube Backer, and Dengar. Which means Scum now has 2 ships that can do this kind of thing. Having said that, I don't see a good symbiosis between this guy and Dengar, which is probably a good thing. If they gave Scum 2 ships that could shoot out of turn, potentially shooting twice each turn, you're getting 4 attacks out of 2 ships. It might be a bit overpowered. I don't really see a good way of Dengar activating Captain Jostero's ability. So the last piece of the puzzle that's been revealed is the Harpoon Missiles. It's a pretty standard 4 squad point cost missile, 4 red dice, range 2 to 3. You know the deal, this is how they all work. Attack, target lock, discard this card to perform its attack. So right off the bat, it feels a lot like a concussion missile, only the next part of the text is different. If this attack hits, after the attack resolves, assign the Harpoon condition to the defender. So the good thing is you still get all your damage through, as well as this condition card, which I'm going to show you right now. And that condition card reads, Harpooned! Exclamation mark. When you are hit by an attack and there's at least 1 uncancelled crit result, each other ship at range 1 suffers 1 damage. Then discard this card and receive 1 face down damage card, which is very powerful. So if you suffer a crit, it means all the ships around you get another piece of damage, and you get another piece of damage. It's like a really overpowered built-in assault missile. Yeah, you've got to get a crit, and that might not be the most easy thing to manufacture. I mean, at the end of the day, you got to hit them with the Harpoon Missile, then hit them with the crit after you hit them with the Harpoon Missile. So there's a lot of things to trigger, but the payoff's quite good. When you are destroyed, each ship at range 1 suffers 1 damage, which is really cool. You look at the way these two abilities interact, and well, if you trigger the first ability, there's a really high chance that you're going to destroy that ship, and then trigger the second ability, which means every other ship at range 1 suffers 2 damage. So there's a lot to play with here. It's very hard to trigger, but potentially quite a huge payoff. This is going to be great against swarms. I really dig it. It also has on the bottom, action, discard this card, then roll 1 attack die. On a hit or crit result, suffer 1 damage. Okay, so the defender has a way of getting rid of it, but there's a 50-50 chance of suffering damage, which is cool. So at the end of the day, if you give your opponent this card, the worst case scenario for you is they use the action and don't suffer the damage, but they're still losing 1 action, which is good. It slows them down. It means they're not doing as many actions during their turn, which is potentially quite powerful. I really like the look of this card. I mean, for 4 points, having the same stat line as a concussion missile, it doesn't have the free conversion of a blank to a hit. But I feel like you can get around that, especially with builds with Predator, Dengar, Guidance chips. Anything that can mod your dice outside of this card is going to be really effective on it. So it absolutely gets a thumbs up from me. I also want to note, I love the picture on this card. I love the idea that the missile that comes in the Kihraxz fix pack is literally destroying an X-Wing. The Kihraxz was always meant to be the anti-X-Wing. It was meant to be the answer to the X-Wing. So to have a bit of flavour like that in the art, I think is really cool. One more thing I want to talk about today is we do have mentioned in this article the interplay on the Kihraxz now between the pulsed ray shield and the ion discharges, a new illicit card that's coming out in this pack. Now, we covered this in the last video, but I just wanted to bring this up again because since that video I've been talking to some of you commenters. We've been talking about what's the best way to make this effective. I don't love the idea of the ion discharges because it gives your opponent choices. It means they can choose the best way to deal with this card and potentially not give it much power at all. However, having said that, it's only 1 point on the Kihraxz, so wasting 1 point isn't the end of the world, and if you force your opponent to fly a little bit differently, that could be well worth 1 point. The pulsed ray shield is obviously the most reliable way to activate the ion discharges, so that's quite cool. You get that interplay for 2 points, which is cool because it means you get to regenerate that 1 shield, and it also gives the Kihraxz that 1 forward maneuver, which is quite cool. Honestly, if you don't have something else you really want on the Kihraxz, like inertial dampeners or black market size tool, if you just don't think those cards are going to work in your build, I think this is quite a strong option. Having said that, I'm still on the fence about the ion discharges. If you guys have any better ideas than this, let me know in the comment section. A big perk of me running this channel is getting ideas off you guys so I can make my game better, but also you guys sharing ideas with each other. That's something I really want to encourage on this channel. Anyway, that's it. That's Guns for Hire, all revealed. Excellent, cool. So looking forward to this. I personally will be buying 2 of these packs. I want to run 4 Vaxi together. Let me know in the comments, guys, what kind of stuff are you interested in with the Vaxi? What kind of builds do you want to try? Let me know. We'll make some more videos on this when there's drops. But for the time being, check out Those Hairy Gamers for more gaming content, and I'll catch you in the next video. See you later.